This is Erika Belvin, and you're listening to Her Digital Empire. Hello, everybody. So we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm just going to wait for Libby to jump on. Hey!
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to do this with you today.
I know, me too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I'll go ahead and get started really quickly. I'm just going to go through my intro and
Sure.
I'll introduce you, and then I'm just gonna ask you a question.
Sure.
So guys, really quickly, this is Boss Bay Digital Lab. This is my beauty business breakdown. This is a Facebook Live that's also going to be turned into my podcast for Her Digital Empire. If you are not following Her Digital Empire, make sure that you're following that as well. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. So whatever you prefer to watch your pod or listen to your podcasts on, make sure that you're listening there. Also, don't forget to follow Her Digital Empire and Boss Bay Digital Lab on Instagram. So again, this is our beauty biz breakdown. This is where I'm grabbing leaders in the industry to ask them questions to really help you all in your businesses and life, since you all do own your own beauty businesses, and it's just phenomenal. You know what's amazing about Libby is she's actually local, which is super cool. Yeah, it's so funny when I was checking out your portfolio, I was like, oh my God, Pacific Magazine. Oh my gosh, I recognize so much. I thought it was so cool.
Yay. I know, it's awesome that we're in the same city. We'll have to definitely get together.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy is that you're award winning, so you know you're super knowledgeable. Libby is an award winning esthetician. She's super knowledgeable. She's going to be spilling a ton of her success secrets, including her success with Groupon, which is kind of one of those things that all of us are, we've either heard, is it like a bad thing to use, or we just haven't had success with it, or we have our own reasons. So that's super exciting as well. And on top of that, the fact that she's worked with some amazing celebrities that I'm going to be asking about as well during this. So Libby, thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited. Yeah, I love using this platform to reach new people in the industry, people in beauty school, seasoned people. It's really important because a lot of girls are trying to jump from, and men are trying to jump from working for like a chain, and they want to start their own business. So I'm happy to spill the secrets because, well, the main reason is when I first started 20 years ago, there was no Google or Yelp or anything. So you went to beauty school and then you hopefully got hired and then you got trained by the product lines. But like no one was teaching Brazilians back then, really. There was like one person, Lori Nestor, and I actually, the only way you could really train with her was if you went to San Francisco, where she is, which she still is at, she's amazing. She's like one of the original wax queens. Or you went to a trade show. And so that's one of the things I did. And I was a model and in front of 200 people. This is before cell phones, thank God. I got a bikini wax in front of, with my legs, like the whole thing. And that's what you did. Or you would beg a seasoned esthetician to teach you how to do Brazilians. So that's what I did. And the lead esthetician at my first job said to me, mind you, this is like such an important thing. She said, Libby, when you're teaching someone, you always want to hold a little something back. Like you don't want to tell all your secrets. And I was like,
Sure.
What? And I was like, but that little secret could help me. So that has like stuck through me. And that, unfortunately, that scenario has played out at other places where I've worked. It's like if you're a chef or a cook and you're making pancakes and you need that one ingredient to make it work, like the salt or whatever. And so I could never hold back. I never wanted to hold anything back. And so thankfully now we have a lot of people that will share their secrets, but a lot of times people will leave that one little secret ingredient back, and Groupon has been part of that for me because no one, and I know we're going to talk about that, but so that's my deal.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's something that I wanted to actually start with because something you had stated to me, and I actually, this is true. So many estheticians only last so many years, and you've been doing this for almost 20 years. Like, what is it that made you stick with it?
Oh God, it's the only thing I'm good at, really, and that really calls to me. So yeah, I mean, I just love the industry. I love people. I love hairstylists. Love, love, love working with hairstylists. The first 10 years of my career, I worked in a big salon spa that had like 20 hairstylists. So we were constantly, you know, collaborating and doing news segments and just having fun and going to training. So I really, really like, and I just love the industry. I actually come from a family of hairstylists on my mom's side. My grandma was a hairstylist and my aunt was a hairstylist. They're sort of the creative side, and then the brains is on my dad's side. They're all doctors and pharmacists and stuff. So I got the creative side. Sorry, parents.
Right. Right. Nothing wrong with creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So let's get into like what everybody really wants to know. So like I was saying earlier, I totally, you know, recognized a ton of your work on Pacific Magazine. You know, the celebrity, you were talking about Coach Crystal, who, you know, is like huge in the Bachelor world.
Yeah.
I am like I love the Bachelor and Bachelorette. So tell me about her. So like, what was that like?
So this was when Coach Crystal had done, she was in the middle of doing The Bachelor. And so she came to my work to get a facial. And I had known her because I had taken her class at Orange Theory Fitness, and my friends like knew of her. But, you know, she's like in the middle of doing the show, you know, and you're not supposed to ask them about the show and like, you don't want to. And people always ask me like, do you get nervous working on, you know, celebrities? And like most makeup artists would be like, oh, no. I don't get nervous. Bullshit. You're always nervous because you don't want to fuck up, okay? You don't want to put something on their skin that they have a reaction to. You don't want to, you know, there's just so many things that can go wrong. So I was like sort of nervous, you know. She has super nice, beautiful skin, taller in person, like all the things you hear about celebrities, just like super totally normal. But her body is amazing.
Of course.
Her arms, I mean, like, just like what you see, like on, you know, like, TV and film and her videos and stuff. She's a super down-to-earth girl. Like, you know, she had a really hard life. Like growing up, she didn't have anything handed to her, and she's done everything herself, you know? And I think there's like a lot, you know, and so yeah, she's super down. She's super cool, and like her body is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, an even bigger one that you've worked with is Clint Eastwood's son, Scott, right?
Yes. So Scott Eastwood's probably one of the biggest, like, younger celebrities that I've done makeup on. And people always ask me, like, what it's like to work on him. So first of all, once again, everyone was nervous, excited, nervous, but everyone was nervous because this is like Clint Eastwood's son. You don't want to screw up. You know, you want to get a shot that he likes and that the advertisers like, and you want to keep, you know, there's a lot of people to keep happy. We didn't have it was a last minute shoot, which happens all the time in this industry. Things are last minute. You've got to be ready to go. And we were shooting without a permit in La Jolla. So we had to be like undercover because we were, you know, scouting locations. We shot outside, which meant that we had the clothes rack outside. That means he was changing outside. I mean, like, you don't want to stare at Scott Eastwood while he's changing, but dear God, that man has a beautiful body also. So, you know, you're trying to like, but you know what? He's also just kind of quiet, conservative. He sounds just like his dad. He's got this like beautiful, raspy voice, doesn't talk a lot. You know, when you're a makeup artist or hairstylist on any kind of set, like you there's a lot of rules. Like you just want to blend in with the wall. You do your job. You don't ask for stuff. You know, you're just like, you're hired help. So, but yeah, he's beautiful, and he looks just like his dad. Super nice, just super quiet, just super normal. But yeah, like we all were like super nervous to work on him. We wanted to get, you know, a shot that everyone liked. But yeah, it's kind of a fun memory for me to think of, because when you're shooting like that, there's so many other things going on. Like we've got the weather and we don't have a permit, and like there's all these other things, and then you have to do your job, and you know, I've never worked on.
You know, comparing, like, because I know that, especially, I'm sure a lot of listeners and viewers on this right now are going to say, you know, well, working with celebrities, like, is my dream. That's my goal. That's what I'm working for, you know? If you were to choose working with celebrities like you have been, or working with like the everyday, which one is more comfortable for you? Because it sounds like the celebrity stuff is like, there's just so many variables, right?
Yeah, I mean, working with celebrities is a lot harder than people think. You have to please a lot of fucking people when you're working with celebrities. Not the stuff that I do. The stuff that I do is like low on the totem pole. But I have friends that, you know, work on, like my mentor works James Vincent's worked on everyone from Lady Gaga to Barack Obama. So I have my mentor and the people that I take classes with work on huge celebrities. But you're managing a lot of different things. And it's really hard to get to that place where you're like just Lady Gaga's makeup artist, you know? But I mean, if that's what interests you, it's my favorite thing to work on is my clientele that I have right now, which I love and adore. But in like the makeup world, I love working on newscasters.
Newscasters?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like news. It's super fun. Newscasters I've done a lot in San Diego. They're super real. The news never stops. It's super exciting. So in the makeup world, but yeah, I don't, I'll do a few TV and film projects here and there. I'm working on a web series right now, but yeah, I kind of like just the average.
Just the average day to day.
Client,
Less stressful maybe? Less,
definitely.
Thinking, right?
Well, you still want to please them because whoever's in my chair or my room is like signing my check for that hour or whatever. But yeah, it's not glamorous at all. Like it's long days. I did a video last year and we literally shot for 16 hours.
Oh, wow.
16 hours. That's my longest day ever. And it was
crazy.
a great video, super fun, but it's really hard work and you really got to know what you're doing. Like, yeah, it's not just like you go take a class and you get a certificate and you're like, woo, okay, like, I've got this. It says I know what I'm doing. Like, yeah.
Right. Well, you know, that's crazy. Yeah. Cause, like even as a graphic designer, you know, I've had my celebrities, my influencers, and then like you were saying, like if I were to choose, any day I would choose the just, you know, average business owner over like a big name. Cause there's just so many other variables. There's, you know, even the personalities sometimes aren't great, you know? So, but it sounds like you've had really good experiences.
Oh no, I've had horrible ones too. One day I did a week on a reality show. I won't name it. And I was setting up and I was going to be with this team for a week traveling all over Southern California. The director walks in, female. Assistant director walks in, walk right past me. I'm setting all my stuff up and I don't even get a good morning. I mean, it's like, it's a different animal. And I don't, that whole celebrity world can be really, really bitchy. I mean, so can the esthetician world, but, but yeah, I'll just take my clientele that I have right here. And then the occasional TV or film project with people that I know it's not going to be, like you said, like there's just like so much ego and like, you know, everyone thinks they're Mariah Carey and they've got this entourage a lot of times. You got to please them and like, no, you know, so yeah, it's tough.
Yes, I agree. I think like being down here in Southern California, it's a lot easier to kind of get in those situations, you know, compared to if you're somebody out in Detroit or something, which I mean, I know there's celebrities everywhere, but especially now with the influencers are just like a whole different level of like, you know, the ego versus, you know, the star and stuff. And so I know that, you know, a lot of my viewers, they bring up influencers a lot, you know, and paying influencers. And if it's going to, you know, like as a makeup artist, would you ever pay like an influencer to maybe do their makeup or something to push your portfolio? Do you think that's something that is like important, or in your
I don't think that really works anymore. I think it might have done at the beginning of Instagram, you know, like if Kim Kardashian shouted you out like at the beginning of your career, that was going to help you. But like, and you know, getting to that level is like extremely hard. But yeah, no. I wouldn't waste your money because if no one knows who you are anyway, they're following that. They're following that star. They don't care who we are. I mean, honestly, like I wouldn't waste your money and your time and your energy. And a lot of people that are influencers, they just want stuff for free. And you know, we have bills to pay too. So it looks real fun, everything that we do, but it's not a hobby, it's a job. And so I think people have to remember that.
I think that's what, people need to realize, like, it's funny because you think like, oh, you know, if I work with a celebrity, I'll have made it. And, you know, it's like these pedestals that I see so many business owners set for themselves, and they don't recognize or realize, like, you don't have to work with celebrities to make full-time income and be successful. And, you know, and maybe it's not even for you, like you were saying. There's just, are you willing to deal with the ego, right?
Well, and it's like a lot of people, like, I mean, I've done a lot of celebrities, but I've done them one time or two times. It's not like, you know, unless you are like Lady Gaga's personal makeup artist, like you're probably hustling a couple other jobs. So yeah, it's just because I worked on Scott Eastwood doesn't mean anything really. I mean, I have him trained right there, but like, to be perfectly honest, did that do a whole lot for my career? No, not really. I mean, it's a fun story to tell and I love the photos, but did that propel me into anything amazing? No. I mean, for some people it might, but I wouldn't count on that definitely at all.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, we like align on that opinion, because so many people, like I said, with the influencers, with the celebrities and stuff, that is just like, it's so big now with Instagram. And I just think that people put too much weight on it, you know?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which is actually why I wanted to get into my next question with you, which is, you know, quitting your corporate job and going and just starting your own business, because you couldn't take any of your clients, right?
Yeah, so I worked for a salon for about 8 years, and I had a full clientele, and then I was doing my makeup gig on the side. But anyone that does makeup knows it's like feast or famine. Like 1 month you can be making a lot of money, and then the next month you're doing nothing. So I had 2 jobs all these years, and then it just got to the point where I was doing like 20 clients a day for this job, and I was exhausted. I mean, mentally, physically, I would come home, I'd lay on the couch, and I would just be like, and mind you, I'm making like no money. And when I mean no money, I mean like I'm making minimum wage plus 20%. Like I'm making these people like hundreds of dollars a day, like, I don't know, $8,000 to $1,000 a day between selling retail. And then I'm taking very little of that home. And I mean, I live in San Diego, and I'm a kick-ass esthetician. And so I just started looking at my girlfriends' careers that had left and started with 0 clients. And I started, you know, coaching with my esthetician friends in town. And I'm like, I gotta just try this. I never really wanted to go on my own. I like working with a team. I never wanted to be alone in a room like this before, but I just was like, I'm worth more than this. And there was like a lot of like trying times with this particular company, because they were just like, it was just like a revolving door. It was like turn and burn. It was like you had 15 minutes to do Brazilians, and like, I don't think you get an award for being the fastest
15
Brazilian.
minutes for a Brazilian, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't think you get like an award for being the quickest Brazilian wax. I had so many clients at this job that I couldn't even remember their names. Like I would recognize them because I could remember like their bodies, but I couldn't remember their names, right? And I was just exhausted, and I wasn't proud of the work I was doing because I was so rushed. And then when you're rushed, that's when you make mistakes, right? You leave hair, you bruise people, you do all kinds of things. And that's not the kind of work I wanted to do. And I felt like I was in, and I'm going to use this loosely, but I felt like I was in an abusive relationship with this particular work, because, you know, you would do, out of 1,000 people, you'd have 1 complaint, and they would come down so hard on you on that 1 complaint, like leaving hair or bruising something or something. I felt like I was in an abusive relationship. Like it was really, really hard to get out of. My first year was really, really hard. Just because I've had massive success early on doesn't mean it wasn't difficult. And that's like why I train people now, and I coach people, and I do a Zoom class that's going to be an online class soon, because I don't want girls to go through what I did. I put up with a lot of crap. Now I look back on my career and I'm like, God, I can't believe I didn't say something. I can't believe I did, you know, services that are really against the law. Like there's all kinds of things that I look back on now. And that's only because like I've surrounded myself with the right people in the right place. And I'm not constantly having someone tell me like, too much makeup, not enough makeup, your hair's too frizzy, you need better bras. Like just like the kinds of things verbally that were said to me. Yeah, it just sort of like ate to me after a while. And I was like, I gotta go. I gotta make this happen. Let's go. So it was like 1 step at a time. I made a lot of mistakes, but like I wouldn't trade it. That's one reason like why I started my Facebook group called The Secrets of Estheticians for beauty creatives. And it's not just for estheticians, it's for makeup artists, hairstylists, beauty school students. And it's to share like the secrets, you know, that people don't want to tell you, so you can jump through those hoops, because I didn't have anyone teaching me to jump through those hoops for a long time. Yeah, did I answer your question? Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
No, it's good. I just, you know, I'm curious. So like, because that's such a big jump, and it's actually kind of, it's almost like so like my story is very similar too, almost unrelatable, because a month into working on, I'm a full-time graphic designer, and a lot of my business came from Etsy. I started on Etsy, and I actually quit my job after 1 month of being on Etsy, and I was not making a full-time income. And it's kind of like a very like unrelatable story, but I just kind of like, I just crossed the line and I said, that's it. I just can't handle it anymore. For you, going from saying like, I'm just going to give up all these people and all this money that I know that I'm getting, and I'm just going to start my own business. And it's kind of like, it's not even the typical advice is, well, keep working your job, build your stuff on the side. And then when you have enough, make your own. And yours is very, very similar to mine, where you just said, that's it, I can't do this anymore. And so I'm curious, do you recommend that? Do you?
No.
Okay.
That's why I teach people now how to do it better than me. So yeah, no. So no, I made so many mistakes. So I kept my spa job, but I didn't tell any of my clients. And so I worked for them for 3 days, and then I worked for myself for 3 days. And I did that for 8 months. So, but I was exhausted, but yeah, I had no clients. So, it was like, I did all the things. Like, I posted on the groups, and I begged my friends and family, not my family. I have one family member here, my sister. I begged my, not begged, but it was like, come in, I'm I'm blah, 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 specials, this, that. I do not, I did everything back. I did everything. And you'll see this from a lot of girls in my industry. No, I had no business plan. I was like, business plan, what? I got an extra $1,000. I'm just going to start. I'm just going to start. But if you wait till you have all those things in line, you'll never do it, Right. So, but I do suggest coaching with people that know what they're doing ahead of you, because it makes it a lot easier. And then I would have made less mistakes in the beginning. But I don't regret going on my own. I wish I'd done it sooner, but I sort of don't regret the timing of my life, because I do believe that wherever you are is where you're supposed to be, which is wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. But I do believe that. But I do believe that you can make, you can make choices and lead up, you can get your website together, you can get your graphic, you can get your logo together, you can get things all in place so that when you are ready to do that, you have things more lined up and it's easier for you.
So the estheticians, we have a lot of hair suppliers, girls who sell hair extensions. We have so many lash technicians, and everybody's so similar. In your opinion, don't just jump in and say, I'm going to quit my job and find my clients. You want to find a mentor,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. You want to find someone that's doing way better than you. And then, coach with them, take classes with them. That's my best advice, because they will save you time and money. It's like when you get married and you hire a wedding planner, the wedding planner knows all the ins and outs. She's going to tell you, go here, here, and here, not here, here. And that's what people like me and like you do, for people that have already done it. And then you don't waste your time and your money. And so I coached with a lot of esthetician friends before, while I was doing it. But I did work 2 jobs. So there is a way to do it for hair people and skin people where you take massive action, but you rent a place 1 day a week. You rent a place 2 days a week. You keep that job over there, and then you're not as nervous because you still have money coming in. Because even if you have amazing skills like me, it's still going to take time. And then that's another thing is, your skills have to be really, really good. You can't just come out of esthetician school and be like, okay, well, I'm a master esthetician. Where's my job? Not everyone's Samantha Boda, the Dallas esthetician. She did her homework. She did her work. So, and nothing replaces experience. So you have to do that. And then you have to look at your work too and be like, well, if people aren't rebooking, why? Everyone's like, oh, well, Groupon people are cheap. Groupon people don't do this. Groupon people like that. And I'm here to tell you, if your work is good, if your work is great, you're going to build a clientele. It's not going to happen in 1 week, but you're going to build it, So you have to take your ego out of it and be like, maybe I do need to take that waxing class. Maybe I do need to take that facial class. Maybe my lashes aren't that great. So those are the kinds of things. And it's hard. I had been an esthetician for 10 years and my focus before was facials. And then I went to this place where it was all Brazilians and I had to retrain, and I'm constantly learning new things,
I'm sure it's hard because, you're still an artist. This is your art, and even for me, I recall being sensitive when somebody didn't like my work, right? Like if
Yeah.
I did a flyer or something and it wasn't good, or they didn't think it was good, I got sensitive about it. And because it's your stuff, you put your all into it. So
Right.
it doesn't matter if you're waxing or you're doing brows or whatever the heck you're doing, it's still your work. So I can imagine.
It is, but we have to remember that the client is our boss. So we want to make our boss happy, even if they're only here for one flyer or they're here for one bikini wax. Like, we got to make them happy. And then we also have to educate them, right, on like what's possible. And I think just all that communication and learning how to do that and managing expectations will help that, because a lot of times it's a lot of miscommunication, at least on my end, of,
Sure.
have to explain to people.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of your success came from staying humble and just, working and learning and applying what you learn and then doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, when let's see, in 2014, I took Kelly Baker's class. She's one of my friends now and one of my mentors. And I had been an esthetician for, God, I don't know, 13 years or something, more than Kelly. And everyone's like, why are you taking Kelly Baker's class? Why are you spending $500? And I was all, well, when you join the basketball team and the NBA team, you don't train less, you train more. And I was like, my brows, don't look like Kelly's. I'm not charging, I think then she charged like $75. She charges $150. I'm not charging $150 for eyebrows. I love everything about her, and I want to be like her in this world. So yeah, if I can get time with her and see her little secrets, I'm going. It was one of the best things I ever did. And now I'm a whole part of Kelly Baker's tribe, and people still think I was crazy for doing that. And I'm like, well, Kelly's one of the reasons why I'm at where I'm at, because she's so empowering and she teaches you so much in her classes that's not about waxing. And that's the only way I can explain it. When you train with someone that's like way, you want to be the worst person in the room. It's like when you take a dance class, you don't want to be the best dancer. You want to be the worst dancer so you can learn from the best dancer. It's the same thing in our world. Like, I want to be the worst esthetician. I've done that before. I spent a week with the powder group back east. I was probably the worst makeup artist in the room for that week. When I left at the end of that week, I was way, way better. I was humbled. I was way, way better. And, that's the only way. The only way you get better is by training with people that are better than you.
Absolutely. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right?
Exactly. Same thing with art, any industry.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I absolutely do. And then speaking of all that, you brought it up a few times. So let's dive into what everybody wants to know, which is, so in your transition, using Groupon, was that something that you used as an intro for clients and stuff? And did you deal with a lot of clients who maybe wanted you to match that pricing after?
No, actually, my Groupon experience has been really, really, really good. Yes, this is the thing. You can pay for Google ads. You can pay for Facebook ads. You can pay for people to do all of the SEO and stuff. And if you add that up, you're still going to be paying money that's going to take away from your service, right? So Groupon is free. They don't take anything until you take your money. So you're getting a client that wants this service. So it is your job when they come in to wow them with how amazing you are so that they rebook. So I have a whole system that I teach girls. One of the most important things is, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Groupons are first-time clients only. Thank you. Okay? You want a Groupon deal, and I know we're running out of time, so I want to try and get these out quickly. You want a Groupon deal that gives them a taste of what you are, not the whole pie. So just a little bite of the pie. So let's say you're a lash girl. Okay, so maybe you offer just the flares so that you're not spending 2 hours doing your whole lash thing. So you want to give them a little taste, and you treat those Groupon clients like gold. They are a live active client that's already interested in your space. So use that, and use that for before and afters, and use that for reviews that you can post everywhere. There's so many things that people are missing the boat on this. They're just thinking about the right now. They're not thinking about down the line. And it's just, you'll talk to estheticians and they'll tell you, some of them that are my friends that even work in solo with me, they built massive, I have massive clienteles from Groupons, and they're not cheap. They're some of the nicest people. They're nurses and students and all people. When people come to a new city, where do they don't know where to go. So they try people on Groupon. And probably 7 out of 10 of my people come back. And, the people that don't come back, oh, well, but I did a client during that time. and that I had an open space, and maybe they're going to go tell the girl down the street, oh my gosh, I went to Libbey, she was amazing. So people are just like they don't think about the long term. They're just like, and you have to stick with it for a while. Like, it's not going to happen in like 1 week. You've got to stick with the program.
And so, with that, do you feel like, I guess one of the questions would be, would it bring in, I know that clients can be nice, but would it bring in the clientele that typically wants a lower price, or
no?
it's just a deal?
No, not really. Like, I don't have, like, once in a while I'll get someone that's like, oh, can you, and I'm like, no, I can't. And people are usually really like, they understand that. And especially with everything that's happened in our industry. I mean, we're closed right now. So people are pretty sensitive to what's going on. And then a lot of people will call and be like, hey, I'm interested in your Groupon. Can I just pay you directly? Well, sure. Why not? Come on in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All the time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, and then, because you're established now, so is this something that as an established business owner you recommend, or is this just to kind of get your feet wet, get off of the bottom,
it depends on the business. I mean, I have a girl that I work with at Sola down here. She's a 6-figure esthetician. She's a kick-ass esthetician, and her deal is paused right now because she's so busy, but she'll unpause it when she gets slow, because unless you're Kelly Baker and you're booked out till next year and you have spots in your day, like, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do it. It's a live client, it's a live lead, that's someone that wants to get the services that you offer. I mean, it's hard to get people in your space. So it depends on this. And, I've only been on my own since 2018. My Groupon's still going. I have no shame in it. I have no ego in it. I built a huge clientele from it. Like, I know people are cringing all over the makeup world hearing this, but like, if you use it to your advantage, it will work for you.
I'm curious about because like online, so online we call this kind of like a funnel, and this would be called like a tripwire. So it's kind of a cheaper rate to kind of get people in the door, and then you're able to sell them on something bigger, right? Because they trust you. And I think what the Groupon does is, in a way, like the tripwire, it builds trust in the funnel. So for you, is your goal then, when they walk through the door, to get another appointment booked, or what's your next step there?
Yes, absolutely, to pre-book them for the next time. Absolutely. And then, like you said, it's all about the trust. So usually you build trust for a lot of people on the 3rd appointment, or the 2nd appointment. So then you can go into the other services that you offer.
I see. Yeah, I saw, it's so funny. Every time I've only used Groupon for a few things. I used to, as a kid in my 20s, I used to use it for dental work, because, you don't have health insurance as a kid in your 20s. And every time I would spend $40 on a cleaning, and I'm walking out having booked like $400 worth of dental work that I needed, and that wasn't a deal, and so I saw it work really well for dentists. And
absolutely. Yeah. Like, a plastic surgeon friend of mine, I don't know if he's doing it now. He was doing it. I mean, at one time I saw like the Four Seasons had a Groupon. I'm like, well, there's a program to this, to make, like you said, to make this work. So you have to be open-minded to that, and, you'll be on these esthetician and hairstylist pages, and people are like, don't discount your work. You're worth more. Well,
right.
Of course you're worth more. Of course you are, but no one knows who you are.
But
no one knows who you are. So it's like, these girls rather give away free shit to their friends in the hopes that they're going to go out to their friends, or get a live client. You're going to build your clientele with strangers, not with your friends and family. We all know that, right? We all know that it's not your friends and family you build your business with.
Right. Absolutely. I 100% agree. I think, in my opinion, because, for me, I actually do the same thing. So like, I have different rates for different people. I have very cheap do-it-yourself products that don't even involve me, but I create anyway to make sure that there's value there. A lot of people say, don't do that. You should be doing $1,000 logos and stuff. Right. And I just like to meet people where they're at, and have something for everybody. And it's funny, because I've had a lot of people who say, hey, I used your DIY stuff for like $10, and now I'm ready for your expensive package I've been saving. And
exactly,
those are my favorite clients. The people who, like, when that money is saved and they've put that money, it's like they're ready to go. And I do agree that, you know, it's funny because like I was like, I'm going to find some questions, you know, and get some questions from just like people, viewers and listeners and stuff. And a lot of people are very curious about Groupon. And I think it's because, you know, there's just, I mean, everybody's a coach nowadays. Everybody has their opinions, you know, and it's like you said, the most common opinion is, well, your work is worth more than blah, 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 you know, and they're not realizing it's a funnel. It's a thing to get them through the door.
Right.
And you end up making a lot more money that way, right?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time, but like nothing happens overnight.
Kind of like a coupon, you know, in those coupon books, paying for a coupon. A restaurant would pay for a coupon in a coupon book, and sure, the person's getting 50% off their meal, but you've now gained a new customer, and that's more important for them.
Well, absolutely. And then they go out, and this happens all the time with me, and then they go out and tell 3 friends, oh my God, Libby's amazing at her Brazilians. And then I get 3 friends from it. And so it's like, well, why girls, and men, this can work for you. You know, the trick is to not make it a service that's super long, costs you a lot of money. You, like I said, you want to give them like a bite of the pie. You don't want to give them the whole pie. That's what I think. And then, like same thing, like with people in your industry, like people will ask about a logo, and I just like, okay, so I have a real logo now, but when I started, it was when I first started my makeup business, it was a Vistaprint logo, and then my sister did it, and then I had something else, and then when I had the money, I hired a designer like you, and like I just kind of cringe when people are, I paid $5 for my logo, look at it, and I'm just like, oh God. Like people
but it's the process. It's the process. Everybody starts somewhere, and then so many people don't even know that they're supposed to buy like this branding. You know, they're supposed to brand. So many people are just like, I'm excited for my business, and these things are out there, and they say, oh, and then a lot of people are starting with, you know, not a lot of money. I mean, I can imagine starting your esthetician business, you're not making so much money out the door, right? So it's good to kind of like not drown yourself in debt. I don't believe in debt. I hate debt, you know. I don't believe in just bringing on so many loans and things to get your business going, and then you're digging yourself out of that and the interest and everything, and just start where you're at. That's what I think. So I actually really agree with you. I think Groupon is a good move for a lot of people. And the thing that people don't really think about, you're getting all that advertising that Groupon does, all of the leads that Groupon gets, you're getting all of that. You're getting all these eyes. It's free advertising. Not free because you're paying, you know, for your ad, but
you only pay when the client comes in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you only pay when the client, that's even better. That's
and then
great.
You can negotiate like a higher rate once you've gotten a certain amount and once you've sold a certain amount.
Yeah. That's just like Etsy. You know, people even say to me like, you know, why do you're an Etsy designer at that point if you're on Etsy, and I'm like, are you kidding? Do you know how many people go to Etsy every day? Like I would never give that up. I don't care what it makes me look like.
And that's the thing, like you have to do things that are like uncomfortable, like as a business owner, like everything isn't like always lined up perfectly. It's like you wait for everything to be like lined up perfectly, you'll never do anything.
Yeah. So if a client, you know, let's say somebody who's listening right now, they're like, I'm in, I want to do this. You know, what is some tips, I guess, you could give them to get going on Groupon? Anything that you wish you would have known that you didn't know?
Well, make sure your phone number is on the Groupon because people will call you, and then you can book them directly. Treat them like gold. Make sure that you get it. This is my most thing. You know, you need to have this posted everywhere so that they know that it's first-time clients only. And the most important thing is to rebook them, you know, and don't think that just because they're a Groupon client, they're just going to be a one and done. Like treat them like a real, like you would a family member or a friend. And then you don't have a Groupon for a service. Like if your deluxe service is a red carpet facial and it's 2 hours and it's normally, you know, let's say $200, don't put that. Give them just a little bite of the pie. Give them a 30-minute express facial and then upsell them and tell them why. You need to tell them why they need what they want. They have congestion, they need extractions, and you can add all these things on. Don't give it all away. You just want to give a little bit of the taste of what you're all about.
Okay, great. So, you know, really quickly. So, you know, we have so many listeners that are like struggling amid the pandemic, especially here in California, you know. Have you ever struggled getting clients? And, you know, what was like that turning point that got you through that to get back up?
Yeah, I mean, that's why like I teach my classes now, because it was hard starting from zero. And that's one reason why like I did the Groupon, because I had exhausted everything else. Actually, I started my business with the Groupon going. But I wasn't, the one thing I wasn't doing, really important, I wasn't pre-booking my people when they left. You have to pre-book people because they forget, and it teaches your clients to rebook. And then I was like, God, I don't know what's going on, Mom. I'd be on the phone with my mom. What's going on? I made a mistake. I should have stayed at my own lunch. I looked for a job. Like all these things going through your head. And then I was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then, you know, I was like, you're not pre-booking, Libby. Like, you know what you're not doing. You know, it's hard when you're first starting out, you know, to pre-book and to do things. You know, estheticians and hairstylists, we're not like naturally salespeople, so we have to learn how to do these things. And I just thought back in all the training I have, and it's like, what am I not doing? And as soon as I started pre-booking people, that's when the magic started happening. I was like, oh, Mom, like, I've got 20 people this week. And like, we would like dance. And every single time I like someone else would pre-book, I'd like text my mom and like, oh my God, Mom, someone else booked. And so like, and then it was like, and then you get your confidence back, and then things just kind of start rolling, and then like you're more comfortable. And so you're happier at your work. And then, you know, you just can't give up. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So pre-booking is a big part of it. Just before that client leaves, get them in a new appointment, right?
Absolutely.
And that'll help solidify that income, right?
Absolutely.
So if you had one piece of advice for somebody starting out brand new in the industry today, right? Or this month, what would you say to that person?
I would join all the esthetician and Facebook groups, because there's like, I mean, mine's amazing. But there's people in there that will give you secrets, you know, tips, tricks, and you'll learn a lot from those groups. And you can go back and read other threads, and then you'll be like, oh, this is the equipment I should buy. Oh, I should do this. I shouldn't do that. You know, ask advice from people that have already done it. You know, don't ask like, you know, your boyfriend who's in tech, like, oh my God, why is my website, what's wrong with my website? He doesn't know. He's in tech. You know, ask another esthetician, ask your hairstylist, ask someone that's doing a lot better than you. That's what I did. I went to my girls that had gone before me, and they still help me to this day. Like, I talk to them all the time, and we constantly help each other.
That's great. Okay, great. So, you know, really quick too, because you've just been giving so much information. You're just so knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you.
I want everybody to be able to find you. So
oh, yes.
Let's talk about your Facebook group. Do you offer coaching as well?
Yes. I offer our coaching sessions. They can find me on, well, my Instagram is at Libbey Lazarus, which is the top there. And through that, there in my bio, there's a link to join the Secrets of Estheticians, which is for estheticians, hairstylists, makeup artists, and beauty school students. And so the reason why I did that, because a lot of these groups are like, no, you got to have your license, put your license number in there. You know, I want your only estheticians. And it's like, well, I want to reach that girl, you know, that's in the middle of nowhere. That's like, I hate what I'm doing, and maybe this is a good choice for me. And, you know, maybe if she sees other people doing what she does or that look like her, she can do it too. So I let beauty school students and, you know, makeup artists in, and other, you know, facets of the industry to try and help other people too. Yeah.
Great. Okay, great. So Facebook and Instagram is where you can find Libby if, you know, she resonated with you and you want to learn more. And I just think, you know, you touched on so many good points. I am a believer in Groupon, especially if you're talking to you. I know it works for some industries, but I was just like, well, I'm curious, you know, because there are such things as low quality clients, and you just don't want low quality clients.
But you can get low quality clients anywhere. They can pop in anywhere, and you will get a certain that are just one and done, you know, but that's okay. Like, as long as it's not taking a lot of time and it's not taking a lot of your materials, you know, because the thing is, they might not come back, but they might tell the girls out on Saturday night, you know, you just don't know. So it's like anything. It's like dating. It's like online dating. Like, you got to swipe a lot, you know, you got to just do as many people as you can and do your best work. And, you know, if you're doing the other things like SEO and Facebook ads and all those other things, like, that's costing you money too. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to go at it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Perfect. Well, I so appreciate you jumping on here and
thanks for having
chatting
me
with all of us today. I will be posting this on our page, as well as this will be a podcast episode for Her Digital Empire as well. So, you know, do not forget to follow Libbey. And do not forget to check out her Facebook group, because that is like a super knowledgeable group. I just joined it as well. So it's like super lively. Everybody's chatting in there.
I know. We need to do like a segment on branding and marketing with you, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Perfect. Well, yes. And, you know, for all you graphic designers too, you know, it's smart. Get into groups. Groups were how I started too. This is how I got my business. So aside from Etsy as well. But yeah, so just don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, Her Digital Empire on Instagram, and Boss Bay Digital Lab, where we post our beauty business breakdowns. So thank you so much, Libbey, for joining us.
Thank you.
All this.
Yes.
And I, you know, will definitely probably be bringing you on again soon. So.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to have you when it's safe to come in here and.
I know, like,
show you,
you know, in the same room.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, great.
All right.
Well, have a super great rest of your day.